Have you ever stopped for a moment and asked yourself a strange question? How can a football team finish last in the Premier League and still walk away richer than the champions of most leagues in the world? Last place, bottom of the table, relegated, struggling all season, and still earning more money than teams that win trophies somewhere else. Does that sound normal to you? Or does it sound like football has turned into something completely different? Because the truth is simple. This is no longer just a sport. It is a massive entertainment business, a global money machine. And everything we see today goes back to one turning point in history. The year was 1992, and English football changed forever. At that time, the biggest clubs in England made a bold decision. They broke away from the old Football League system that had existed for over 100 years. Why would they do that? One word: money. They wanted control. Control over television broadcasting rights. Control over how football was sold. Control over how the game reached people outside stadiums. Because back then, football was not what it is today. It was not global. It was not constant. It was not a weekly worldwide event. It was just a sport you watched sometimes, if you were lucky. But everything changed when a broadcaster called Sky entered the picture with a powerful idea. What if football was not just something you go and watch, but something that comes to you every week, in your living room, on your screen, like a show you can never miss? That idea changed everything. The clubs agreed to sell their rights together. The broadcaster invested heavily. And suddenly, football became more than football. It became content. And once something becomes content, everything changes. Because now it is not just about winning or losing. It is about attention. Viewers, ratings, subscribers, and attention creates money. Here is how the system started to build itself. More viewers bring more broadcasting money. More money brings better players. Better players create better matches. Better matches bring even more viewers. And the cycle repeats again and again. A loop that never stops growing. A machine that feeds itself. And over time, this machine became the Premier League we know today. Fast forward to the present. The Premier League is no longer just an English competition. It is one of the most watched sports leagues in the entire world. From Asia to Africa, from Europe to America, from cities to small towns. People wake up early, stay up late, watch games on phones, TVs, laptops, anywhere they can. Millions of fans follow teams they have never even visited in person. And all of that attention turns into something massive. Money. Billions of dollars in broadcasting deals. Not just from England, but from every corner of the world. In fact, international broadcasting rights are now so powerful that they can match or even exceed domestic revenue. Think about that for a second. A league from one country is earning global money on a scale similar to Hollywood studios or tech companies. But here is where it gets even more interesting. The way the money is shared. In many leagues around the world, the system is simple. The biggest clubs take most of the money. The champions dominate financially. Smaller clubs struggle to survive. But the Premier League is different. It uses a shared system. Every club gets a large base payment just for being in the league. Every club earns money from matches shown on TV. And every club receives additional money based on performance and final position. Yes, finishing higher gives more money. But the gap is not extreme. That means something very unusual happens. Even the worst team in the league still earns huge amounts of money. And that is where the shocking reality appears. The team finishing in last place can still earn around $100 million or more in a single season from central broadcasting money alone. Last place. $100 million. Now compare that to other leagues where even the champions sometimes earn less from television rights. That changes everything. Because suddenly, the biggest reward in football is not just winning trophies, it is simply being part of the league. That is why clubs all over the world dream of promotion into the Premier League, not just for glory, but for survival, for financial transformation, for opportunity. Because once you enter that league, even failure can be incredibly profitable. But the system does not stop there. There is another powerful element built into it: relegation. When a club drops out of the Premier League, it does not lose all its money instantly. Instead, it receives parachute payments for a few years. These payments are designed to help clubs adjust financially, to prevent collapse, to soften the impact of losing top-level revenue. But in reality, it creates something more complicated. It divides the lower leagues into two groups, clubs with parachute money and clubs without it. And that creates imbalance, because some teams in the second division still have near Premier League level resources, while others are operating on much smaller budgets. So promotion becomes more than a sporting goal. It becomes a financial gamble, a high-risk, high-reward gamble, where everything depends on one season, because just one successful promotion can change a club's future for years. But missing out can trap a club in financial struggle. So clubs spend more, owners take risks, managers are under pressure, players are bought and sold aggressively, all chasing that one prize, a place in the Premier League. But here is a deeper question. When a league becomes this powerful, is it still just sport, or is it something else entirely? Because in today's Premier League, a huge portion of money does not stay in the clubs. It flows out into wages, agents, transfer fees, bonuses, and contracts. Players become global celebrities, clubs become international brands, and fans become audiences rather than just local supporters. Ticket prices rise, stadiums become more commercial, football becomes more global, but sometimes less local. And yet, demand keeps growing. Why? Because the product is incredibly strong. Every match feels important. Every game feels unpredictable. Every weekend delivers drama. And that is not luck. That is design. The league was built to be competitive, built to keep uncertainty alive, built to ensure that even small teams can beat big teams on any given day. And that is what keeps people watching. But success always comes with questions. If one league becomes too rich, what happens to the rest of the world? If one system dominates attention, can others survive? And if football becomes purely entertainment-driven, what happens to tradition, identity, and local connection? These are questions the sport is still trying to answer, because even now, the gap between the Premier League and other leagues keeps growing. Clubs in Europe and beyond look at the system and wonder how to compete. Some talk about super leagues, some talk about restructuring football entirely, because everyone wants what the Premier League has built: attention, reach, money, influence. And that brings us to the biggest lesson of all. This is not just about football, this is about attention. Who gets it? Who keeps it? And who turns it into power? Because in today's world, attention is more valuable than almost anything else. And the Premier League understood that earlier than most. It turned a sport into a weekly global show. A product that never stops. A machine that grows every season. So when you watch a match today, ask yourself something simple. Are you watching 22 players chasing a ball? Or are you watching one of the most powerful entertainment systems ever created? A system that turns wins, losses, and even last place into massive money. And as long as people keep watching, the machine will keep growing. Bigger, faster, stronger, season after season. If you enjoyed this deep dive into football and the business behind it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow and allows us to bring you more stories like this, explained in simple words. And tell us in the comments, do you think football is better now that it is this big global business? Or has something important been lost along the way? We read every comment, because the game never truly ends, it just keeps evolving. Short, the TV deal worth more than the teams. Have you ever wondered how football reached a point where even the worst team in the Premier League can earn more money than champions in most other leagues? The answer goes back to the 1992 breakaway and the massive TV deal that changed everything. The league sold its broadcasting rights for billions, creating a system where TV money matters more than trophies. Today, that TV deal is so huge that it is worth more than the total income of many entire leagues. Because of equal revenue sharing, even the team finishing last still receives over $100 million. That means survival in the Premier League is more valuable than winning elsewhere. It turned football into a global entertainment business driven by broadcasting power, not just results on the pitch. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.